The next section is, what does this say? Getting to know your machine. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Yes, well, we'll get on to that. I say. Hello chaps, I hope you are well. It's another fine day here in the Cotswolds, so hopefully it's nice and warm and sunny where you are. Today we are going to be looking at this. This is the Vax Dynamo Power Reach, a new vacuum cleaner which we have bought for our home. Our previous vacuum cleaner was on its last, wheels, and it needed replacing. So we've gone for this, which is another cylinder type vacuum cleaner, which is certainly suitable for I think a small home. Ours is quite a small cottage, lots of tight twists and turns, and those uprights tend to be a bit bulky. So and certainly for carrying up the narrow staircase which you see behind me, these are a bit more manoeuvrable. So let's take a look at this and see what we think of it. Okay chaps, so it's a fairly substantial box, but obviously quite compact in comparison to most vacuum cleaners, because of course it is the sort of wheeled around cylinder type. So it's pretty compact even in this box. So let's open it up and see what's inside. Just looking at the box, it seems that Vax are very keen for you to contact them on social media, which is probably good if you've got any trouble. There's the energy rating on the top here. It's energy rated A, which is very good. Lots of EU stickers on there. Not that we'll have to look at those for much longer. 25.4 kilowatt hours per annum. I don't really know what the sort of scale is, but I'm sure that's very good, probably. There's lots of other category ratings in here. It says it has an A rating for the dust which comes out of the back, so that's good. A C rating for dirt on carpets, and an A rating for dirt on lino. So obviously it picks up more on lino than carpets, but then I suppose that's the same for every vacuum cleaner because lino is smooth, or tiles even. And a noise rating of 79 decibels. So again, I don't really know how loud that is in comparison to anything else. What's a jumbo jet? 150? Something like that? I don't know. But yeah, so I've got my trusty penknife, which you'll remember from a previous video where I almost lopped my own fist off. And we'll just cut into it and see what we've got. So let's get this open. We ordered this from a company called Very, which is a catalogue store in the UK. And it was delivered very promptly as well. So, oh, here we are. We've got some... we've barely got the box open, and we've already got some hints and tips on the front here. Did you know you can rinse this filter so that it lasts longer? For best performance, regularly wash the filter. Maybe that's the trouble we had with the old one. We didn't wash the filter properly enough, but there we are. Welcome to the Vax family. Oh, thanks very much. We're here if you need us. Like the uncle that you never talk to. Instead of taking me back to the shop, visit, and then about 4,000 email addresses, phone numbers. Please make a note of the serial number and model number of the product before calling. Yes, well, they're very helpful in ways you can contact them, which is good because, you know, I think one thing that people find with certainly technology these days and sort of products, home appliances, is, you know, they get a lack of support. So that's good. Right, so we've got something which had eggs in. We have, wow, we've got quite a lot of stuff in here, which is good. We've got this very long, bendy, wobbly hose, which must be the extendable one. God blimey, look at that. It's like a king cobra. With the sort of handle bit on. I don't know if you can still see me, can you? Yes, probably not. So we'll put that there. We'll get everything out of the box, then we can have a look at it properly. We've got another hose here with another handle on, so there's two handles there. We have what looks like the main sort of floor hoovering thing. We've got another one which is smaller. We've got another egg box. We've got the metal shaft bit. We've got what looks like some sort of multi-tool. What do they call it? The crevice tool or whatever. We'll put that there. And yes, an instruction book. That'll be very handy in a second. And of course the unit itself. So we'll and another sticker which has all the energy ratings on. So there we go. Could stick that to my scrapbook or whatever. And then this, the Hoover itself. So let's get this out. Oh, blimey! And there's the thing. Right, lots of bits. So I'll unwrap everything and we can have a look at it in more depth. Right then, chaps, well, I've unboxed everything and everything seems to be in order. Everything that's in the instruction book is here in the box. Now, of course, this is the main unit itself, so I'm just going to plonk that down on this chair for a second so we've got a bit more space on the worktop here. Now, this is the combination floor head, which basically means it's the thing that you use most of the time. And like most vacuum cleaners, it has a smooth sort of surface here for when you're doing the carpet, and then when you're doing the lino or the kitchen floor or the bathroom floor, whatever, with tiles, you click that bit with your foot and a brush and a little sort of squeegee comes out the bottom and gets all the bits up. Obviously you do that with your foot, so we'll put that back there. Now this is the telescopic extension tube, which is of course the thing that attaches to that, and you push that and it comes out like that. And yes, I mean, clearly, if you've never seen one of these before, you've never used a vacuum cleaner before. So that's that. Then we have the 3-in-1 tool, which I still haven't figured out yet. It's almost like one of those puzzles you get at Christmas. How do you undo it to release the bottle of wine? There's a button here, which... there we go. So that's obviously the crevice tool, which I mentioned before. And then these, I think... You put it in that way to use it with the brush, and then you put it in the other way to use it with the with this bit, which is a sort of upholstery thing, I guess. And this little clip here, it just pops out like that. So it's it's one, and then this goes over the top 2 different ways. So you've got 3 things. So that's good. Keeps it tidier. I mean, with a lot of the older vacuum cleaners, you used to get sort of 4 different bits and then you had to find somewhere to put them all. So this sort of keeps everything in check, and you know, as long as you've got that one, you've got all 3. Then we have this, which is the turbo tool. Again, I think it's for upholstery and sort of pet hair. Keep hair away from rotating brush. Isn't that what it's... Oh, keep hair away. Well, who's going to be doing that? And then it says something in French, which I think is the same thing. And then on this, it actually says, it's got a Vax sticker with the website, and it says this is type 6, reorder at vax.co.uk. So I'll be pretty impressed if there are 6 different types of this brush. But yeah, it's good to know if it, if it breaks or whatever, you don't need to order a whole new vacuum cleaner. You can just get this one part. So that's pretty handy. So we'll pop him there. And I'm just referring to the book here, chaps. This is the now the grey one. This is, of course, the accessory hose. So this is, the main one, or whatever. And then the other one, which is this extremely long one. Let's pop that down. This is the stretch hose, and they're not joking when they say stretch hose. This is obscenely long. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I can't say obscenely long. That makes it sound like I'm talking about something far ruder, which I won't be at 25 to 11 in the morning. So yeah, I mean, that stretches. So you can imagine once you've got that on the Hoover, or sorry, vacuum cleaner. Hoover is a brand name, of course. My old news editor will laugh at that. We've got this attached to this, with this, and your crevice tool or whatever, you'll be able to reach anything. Probably able to reach the roof. So yes, all the bits are here. This all looks very good. And the next section is, what does this say? Getting to know your machine.
Getting to know you.
Getting to know all about
you.
Yes, well, we'll get on to that. Okay, chaps, well, I've brought you in a little bit closer just to see the main unit itself. Now, I'm not going to insult your intelligence by suggesting that you've never seen a vacuum cleaner before, but for those of you who might be interested in purchasing one of these devices, you might like to see it a bit closer up. Now, we've got all the usual things on the vacuum cleaner here. We've got these big chunky wheels with sort of rubber tyres. I say tyres, it's just a bit of rubber around the edge. We've got the cord cable rewind button here, which chucks it back in the back when you've done. We've got a power button around this side with a little LED. And we've also got this, which I've not seen before, but it looks like a sort of volume button. Now, in the contents, where it says getting to know your machine, where it has all of the little annotated drawings that tell you what all these bits are, it tells you all the bits that everyone would probably know, and it doesn't tell you what this is for. There is no line coming off the back of that, so just looking through the rest of the book, it isn't actually referred to anywhere in the book. So I had a look online, and it's a sort of amount of suctionless button, but it would be pretty helpful for the book to tell us what that's all about, and indeed why there would be a moment when you'd need less suction. I guess when you've got something stuck in the tube maybe, and you need to sort of turn it down, or maybe I guess you'd turn it off, but I know that in the handle parts, if you're using it on a sort of a long piled carpet, you can open the sort of valve at the top to reduce the suction. But yeah, this volume button, I mean, I'm sure it'll be pretty self-explanatory when I start using it myself, but it would be helpful for the book to tell us that, so maybe that's something that Vax want to look into putting into their book next time. Okay, chaps, well, as you'd expect, emptying this when the dust container is up to the sort of max mark is pretty self-explanatory. This is a button here which you press, which releases the whole thing, and in case you lose the book, of course, there are instructions on the cylinder to tell you how to do that. Then we release the section here, I think, to empty it. Of course, this is all a bit new, so it's a bit stiff. So that releases like that. You empty that in the bin, and then you close it again, and off you go. Now, if you do need to clean the cylinder, let me just move the hoover over this way. Sorry, vacuum cleaner over that way. We have, oh, blimey, we have a little clip on the top here, which opens up, I think. There we are. And here we have what is called a pre-motor filter. So obviously that stops stuff going into the motor, I think. And as far as I can work out, you sort of lift this up, or twist it. Is it a twist? Hang on a second. Let me just read what the instructions say. Lift the pre-motor and remove from the dirt container. Lift and remove. Ah, there we are. So yes, it has this sort of carbon pad like you get in your extractor fan above your hoover. It's that kind of material. And by all accounts, this can be rinsed under the tap, and it can be squeezed and twisted to get all the gubbins out of it, and you need to leave it to dry for 24 hours. And again, helpfully, Vax have told us that this is filter type number 130, so we can reorder that part as well. So they're very much keen on letting you order parts rather than buying a whole new vacuum cleaner to keep the same machine going as long as possible. So that's, I'm all for that, rather than just throwing things away and getting new ones. That's good. So that's that. Then this is the, what is this called? The separator. I'm not sure why it's called a separator. It must be separate bits. So there's a little lock symbol there. So to unlock, we twist it this way, and then that comes off like that. So that sort of plug comes out. Then what? Then we take this whole thing out, I think. Is that right? No. Oh my word. You know what? I should have read the instructions before doing this. Twist the separator cap, and lift and remove the separator. Yes, it is a lift. I think it's because this is all very new, so I might need to use a bit of force, because it clearly, I think the rubber seals are, yes, because there's lots of rubber seal in this to obviously keep them airtight, so they've kind of got a bit stuck in transit. So and then this bit comes out, and then you can rinse everything, rinse the filter, and leave it all to dry for a day, and put it back together again, and that's that. So let's just see if we can put this back together again. I presume Yes, that goes there where that little hole is. And these are there are some tabs here to make sure you put them in the right place. Locating tabs, I think they call them. This thing goes back into here. These little things go in there, and to lock we twist it that way. So that's locked like that. This goes back in the top. I think it doesn't really matter which way that goes in as long as it's in. That clips on there. And there we have it. And we'll just bring the machine back in. Here we are. And we put that on there. I think. Yes. There we go. Press the button and it clicks into place and everything's hunky-dory again. Now there is also, this was the pre-motor filter, there is also of course the post-motor filter, which is the thing at the back which stops it from chucking any extra bits back out into the room that you've just cleaned. And that's all pretty self-explanatory. There is a little lock on the back here which we slide this way, pull that out. There's a tab here which you clip down, and that whole sort of cassette comes out. And this is all very well sealed. This looks like a sort of car radiator. It's a very well made kind of filter, and we don't have a part number on that one, so... Oh, there we are. Yes, we do indeed. Type 131, reorder at vax.co.uk. So that's good. And we'll clip him back in there. That's clipped. And pop this back on like that. And there we have it. So that's all pretty easy. Easy to clean, easy to maintain, and easy to put back together again, which is good. Right, I think it's time we unleashed some electricity on this and see how it works. So I'm going to do a bit of hoovering, I guess. Sorry, I meant vacuum cleaning. Keep getting it wrong. Blast. Okay, chaps, well obviously I'm down here on the floor again, and it did say in the book that the cord should always be pulled out to the yellow tab, or rather yellow marking on the cable. I always thought that the yellow marking was you'd gone too far, but apparently you're supposed to pull it out all the way, regardless of how far you're going to be using it. So we'll do that, we'll plug that in. That's on the wall on this side, and I'll just, it would help if I took the cap off of the plug, so we'll plug that in, switch him on, and just ignore this little black cable down the side here. That's my microphone. So what we'll do is we'll get everything untangled so that we don't end up hoovering up my microphone into the setting. I'm just going to put this out the back here so that it's a bit easier for me to use. And let's just give this a go. So I'll start on the carpeted section, and that will involve making sure that the brushes are raised. So that's that like that. Of course, this is quite a long one, so let's give it a go and see how loud it is. Well, there's certainly plenty of suction. This is, with the valve open, you probably can't... Okay chaps, well that was the Vax Dynamo Power Reach, and very powerful it is too. Certainly on my little quick test there on the rug and on the laminate floor, it seemed to do the job very well. Now, of course, I won't be able to tell you exactly how well it performs until I've used it over the course of a few months and actually lived with it and used it to clean the whole house. So what I'll do, because I know I am due to report back on the Beldray 12-in-1 multifunctional steam cleaner, which I did a video about a few months back now. So what I will do is I'll use the vacuum cleaner for a while, and combine that with the steam cleaner and do a sort of reporting back double bill Vax stroke Beldray special, and we can sum up our cleaning efforts throughout the past few months in one video. So I might as well get on and film that. Better do some cleaning first, though. I say.